This morning I decided to do a quick walk around with the GoPro because the growth has just been tremendous the last 2 weeks. So here we go. Let's take a quick walk around, get inside the area with the raised beds here, and you can see the tomatoes there. The ones over here have gone crazy. A bunch of little tomatoes on them. Hopefully a couple weeks we'll have, tomatoes. The blue potatoes there look pretty good. Carrots, I've been eating some of the thinnings, pulling some of them, and the next batch of red potatoes that'll be coming out soon, and then there's some of those old white potatoes I throw in that'll be coming out also. The garlic's ready to pull. It's not going to be that big this year. Crazy weather has messed it up again. Shallots are doing amazing. Look at the size of those things. They'll be coming out next week and sitting out in the sun to dry for a while before packing away for the winter. And a couple more tomato plants. Lots of small tomatoes. Plants are all overgrown. I did not keep up with them properly, but we'll see what we get. Looks like it's going to be a good harvest. So these 3 bins here are all just loaded. And there's the Amish paste ones there. Pretty soon we should have some, good tomatoes to start some sauce. And these are the edamames. They didn't germinate too good, but they look good now. More tomatoes over here. And you can see, plants are loaded and have gone crazy. And this batch here is some hot peppers and the garlic. This is a hardneck garlic that seems to be almost ready to be pulled too. And the Japanese peppers, as always, they're going nuts. You can see they're loaded. We've been eating them for a couple weeks now, so they always do good. We love them. Eggplants, I've been trying to pick off all the flea beetles, and you can see the plants have quite a bit of damage, but still putting on eggplants. And about another couple days, we should have our first ones. There's a Rosa Bianca that's almost ready to pick, so they're doing good too. A little bit of flea beetle damage, but now these are the zucchinis that we've been picking and eating for a couple weeks now. Get tired of zucchinis, and picked my first one of these patty pan, I guess they call them squash this morning. I'll show you that at the end. And it was loaded with those squash there, so we should be eating them in another, pretty soon. These are pickling cucumbers here that are just really taking off, getting started. And then these are the tomato plants back here that I kind of abused at the beginning of the season and, buried them deep hoping they'd come back. And they're starting to come back. And the first red tomato of the year right there, I was getting ready to make a nice tomato sandwich. And today I looked at it and something ate it last night. Son of a gun, something ate half of my tomato. Well, guess that's what happens with animals. Probably a skunk that can climb the fence. There's some dill that should be ready when the pickles or cucumbers are ready. Some more cukes on the thing there, some rainbow chard, some basil, and there's some cilantro that's doing amazing. We've been using that in the salsa. Here's the second bin of beans. And here's the first one that was planted earlier, and we've been picking that for a couple weeks now. Got a freezer full of beans, and these guys are starting to show up, these Japanese beetles. I've been getting quite a few of them lately, and I have to pick these, probably 1 or 2 more pickings, and then they'll be ready to pull out and be done for the year. And over here I have my little jerkin cucumbers that are going to be little mini dills, so waiting for them to go. And turnips, we use them all up, they're all out and eaten. And this is some of the onions that we've been using out of this bed here. So we've been using them early. And these scarlet runner beans up here. We got a high wind the other day that really blew a lot of the flowers with the small beans off of them. So not sure how many we'll have on that. But the beets have to be thinned. We've got to thin them and use them up as they're growing now. And here are the Alyssa Craig onions. And again, they're doing really wonderful, you can see. And we've been using them from the other bed there. And they're so juicy and sweet this time of the year. We just love them. So pretty much here's a quick look around inside the raised bed area there that's fenced in. And then we'll just take a quick walk outside next. And you can see it's a jungle in here right now. So let's just go in this front section here. And the strawberries there, we got our strawberries, and I'm about ready to pull all the plants out. I give up on strawberries. They're just too much work for me. I'll put something else in there that's easier to take care of. And again, you can see last walk around, there was nothing out there in that area, and the pumpkins have filled it all out. And also the sunflowers I planted in that group are just doing amazing. There's probably 1,000 sunflower plants that'll be blooming in another 2 weeks. And poor flamingos had to be moved. They got buried by the pumpkin plants and the chickens. But anyhow, they're protecting the peppers now. And let's see, we got some flowers also that I put in these buckets starting to do well. Those are my marigolds there. And then these are those other flowers from that Jefferson collection. I think these are the cone flowers that have started blooming now. And, you know, all these buckets have the same thing in it, and they have a butterfly mixture in it. So these are zucchini plants. I planted a couple weeks after the ones inside there, and turned out they caught up and passed them. So we're buried in zucchinis. And there's the okra finally taking off and doing good. And again, here's the squash. These are, you know, all doing good, filling in. And there you can see I'm starting to finally kill off some of those weeds. I'll show you on the other side. And the elderberries are, you know, doing good. Everything's doing really fantastic. And I just can't wait to see these sunflowers bloom. There's just so many different ones mixed together in there. We'll see how they came out and, you know, what grew. So there's a look at this bottom section here. And again, you can see everything doing well and turned into a jungle. So now let's just walk up around the front. And these are those pumpkins that have really just taken off lately and gone crazy and filled in. And you can see the butternut squash in the background there. Elderberries flowers are almost over. They're starting to turn to the berries, and they're beautiful. Somebody around here is going to have some really nice elderberry honey because the bees have been going crazy on these flowers. And again, let's go up here. Pear trees are doing okay. I mean, it'll take a couple more years for pears. And these are some ornamental gourds up here. Doing good, you can see. And back here is some more gourds. And over on the side is a couple sunflowers coming back. And here's some of those weeds that I'm working on killing. I am using a little bit of Roundup at a time. Every week I put a little bit on a couple plants, and it seems to be traveling through the root system and killing them all. So I'll see how long that takes and if I actually do get rid of them. So here's this morning's pick. A couple zucchinis, onion, some little garlic. That was some of that first garlic that I had in one of those patty pan squashes, and you know, a couple peppers because we're going to be making some pizza. My wife's working on the dough now, so we're going to do a couple nice pizzas for lunch. So I just wanted to show you just how much growth there has been in the last 2 weeks. It's been a little bit over 2 weeks since the last video, and you can see everything is finally taking off. We did have some rain, and we do have a problem now that the smoke has been coming back again, but otherwise everything's doing great. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.